It's do or die time. It's week 14, and spoiler alert, most of my fantasy teams have chosen to die. Uh, we're heading into the fantasy football playoffs. We got one more week left. And then it's go time. Then it's winner take all. You lose, doesn't matter what the hell is next week or the week prior or what 3-week trend you guys been on. It just matters by your team scoring more than your opponent. And that's the game we play. Look, we're about to get into my favorite time of the year, Travis, and that's when everybody realizes just how effing lucky you have to be in fantasy football. You put your best lineup, and it doesn't matter if you've got all-stars and they all put up 6 catches for 40 yards.
Yep.
You know, you put your stuff to a game of probabilities, and here we are. I'm glad to be playing it. I'm glad to be joined on this show with you, Travis. I'm glad to be joined by our fans and listeners listening from all around the 8 places that they are. And look, it's a fun Wednesday night. We're here to talk about some football. We got some fun guys to talk about and some not so fun guys. We're gonna round the show off with some dynasty talk, and I'm ready to hop into it, man. How are you doing this Wednesday night?
Doing well. I think that you are very correct in that it takes a lot of luck. You have to be healthy. You have to get the matchups in your way,
Yes, sir.
which nobody really looks at preseason because you just try to get there and then you hope for the best. Well, now we're at hope for the best time. And case in point, Dustin was up on me in one of our dynasty leagues. 97% chance to close me out.
I was up by like 50.
I had Joe Mixon and Jake Browning, 2 names that should not come close to combining for over 50 points.
I had ETN and Kirk.
Kirk goes out in the first
quarter.
quarter.
Kirk goes down. ETN kind of starts getting bottled up a little bit.
Jake Browning becomes prime Peyton Manning.
Yeah, that was really cool to see Peyton jump out of the booth and put a helmet on.
It looks like Dustin's going to go from the 4 or 5 down to the 7 and not be able to climb out.
Yeah.
I feel bad as a co-host.
It hurts.
But I thought maybe starting Jake Browning would be a fair enough shot. Who knows in this silly game we play. Dustin, speaking of luck, here in week 14, there are a lot of names that people are going to have to start because of a lot of different reasons. We're calling this Living on a Prayer, your idea, so I'll let you jump into it. Let me know when you want me to take over.
Yeah. Let's talk about some guys that, you're going to need a big week, and it may not be typical of their performance. We'll start off with wide receiver from Houston, Trav. Let's talk about Noah Brown. This is an interesting matchup because they're facing the Jets. We've already seen a few pops from Noah this season. I know there are a couple places for me where I actually have to start him. So, I'm okay with him. I like him this week. What are your thoughts on him?
I like Noah Brown. The Jets defense is tough, but we saw Noah Brown give us some top 5 weeks back to back, I believe, when Houston was depleted at receiver earlier in the year. Yep. Tank Dell is out. It is not promised, but in a pinch, Noah Brown could give you that 15 to 20 point week. We saw a funny stat on our Twitter group chat earlier that Jalen Waddle, over 40 career games, has one game of 150 yards or more. Noah Brown this season has 2. So, and they were back to back.
Brown over Waddle, question mark?
I don't know about that, but I do think that is enough reason to throw Noah Brown in a flex in a deeper league if you need a dart throw.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Noah Brown's fun to watch. I'll say that. He's a good time.
Yeah.
Zeke Elliott. God, goodness gracious. This one.
Did you already put Jacob's comment up here?
No, I have not.
I feel like you should have to sing that with the enthusiasm that he brought. You do have a great singing voice.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know if I could hit that.
I had to go for it.
But Zeke is much more past his halfway there moment in his career. He's almost there. He's almost all the way there. But look, good point here. Zeke Elliott, you're praying that this is the moment he becomes a quote unquote league winner. I don't know if that's the case.
I can't go that far. These are just prayers.
Yeah,
These are not league winners.
Exactly. You're hoping he puts up a decent flex game. He's gonna get 15 touches, 15 plus touches.
Yeah.
I have him in quite a few parlays this week or for tomorrow. Why I bet on that game, I don't know. I have a problem.
Yes, you
someone
do.
call my family.
If you're not taking every under in that game, you do have
yeah,
a problem.
Yeah. But the Steelers, look, they've allowed the 9th most rushing yards in the league this year. It's something that I'm open to. We all go off of averages. That game is not going to be pretty. I can 100% see Zeke going under like the 58-yard mark that he is lined at this week. But yeah, I as far as dart throw, flex guys go, Zeke is as good as you're going to get, especially now that he has a bell cow role in that offense for what it's worth.
If his line's around 60 yards, give him 10 through the air. If he falls in the end zone, he's a double-digit flex.
For sure.
Which is what a dart throw. Yeah, that's what you're hoping for. Gardner Minshew will not give you a 25 to 30 point week. I don't think he has that in his game. Maybe once in a blue moon. Yeah. But more realistic is probably your 2 quarterback leagues, your super flex leagues. I think 15 to 18 points is fairly safe for Minshew. Probably closer to 15 as far as expectations go.
Sure.
But with no Jonathan Taylor, I do like Zach Moss. We'll get to him in a minute.
Yes, we will.
But with Downs, Pittman, Alec Pierce all healthy, Minshew gives you enough through the air, enough with his legs to get that 15 to 18 point week. I think he's an okay start.
Yeah, I like that. Another guy we could talk about living on prayer. You are truly living on a prayer every time this man touches the football field.
Every snap.
Look, here we go.
A Hail Mary prayer, if you will.
Yeah. Look, we haven't even said his name yet, but let's put him out there. Jameis Winston has another chance to be primetime, crab leg eating, interception throwing, fantasy matchup winning quarterback.
Another one.
He could be.
He's got an opportunity. Every time he throws the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or an interception. I truly believe that. Wild things happen when he's on the field. He's just fun to watch.
Did you see what Michael Thomas said about that situation today?
No, I didn't.
He was tweeting during the game because he's hurt.
God. Of course, yeah.
And he was dogging Derek Carr.
Yeah.
During the game, he's like, AT was wide open. And then he says, and then when Carr goes down with a concussion, he tweets, God is with Jameis. I was like, damn.
Oh, my.
But that maybe the receivers really do want to play with Jameis. I mean, he comes out there and he's going to let it fly. He's going to give you a chance all game.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, I guess. I mean,
Taysom will be annoying. He will be a thorn in your side. But
who?
Taysom Hill. Oh.
And his name is John C.
Oh, I have to hit it every time. Vintage. I get the opportunity. Taysom Hill, yeah, that he's gonna be a weapon this game. I like him. We'll talk about him later too. Jake Browning, I don't really want to talk about him. He doesn't make me feel good. He doesn't make me feel good. Honestly, all things considered, I have been a Jake Browning fan for such a long time.
Have you really?
I have. When he came out of high school, he was such a highly touted recruit just because he had set all these records, and then he comes into college and he did okay. He set records.
I've never heard of the guy before 2 weeks.
Yeah. I didn't think of him as a pro prospect, but then he comes out here and it's just really cool to see this guy that I followed since his high school career actually like balling out. And in this system, they trust him to throw. I love the little stories that you get, like the little tidbits from the coaches where it really tells you kind of how they view the player. Like they came out and said, "Hey, we trust Jake to throw the ball. We're going to open it up. There's not going to be any restrictions on him. He understands the playbook." And that it's his it's his teammates when they come out and say, "Yeah, no, Jake can do everything in this offense." I'm like, that's perfect.
We have a saying at Losing Sucks for what he did on Monday night.
Oh, yeah?
What is it, Dustin?
Yeah, I know what you're going to say, and that's because Jake Browning went out there and balled his dick off. That's what
he really did. With T healthy, with Chase doing everything that he's doing,
that's
the tight ends are healthy. Joe Mixon's playing lights out right now. I
Yeah.
think Jake Browning is a fair start. I think
I-
he's one of the higher upside dart throws out there right now.
I would say in two QB league against the Colts, absolutely. He's someone you could start. Someone else in that game though, Zach Moss. Tell me about him, Trav. You think he's a high upside guy this week?
I think he has a big bounce back. I think he's a top 10 play. The Titans gave him a tough outing, but we saw a top 5 fantasy running back out of Zach Moss for the first 6 weeks of the season. Play him confidently. Do not hesitate after a quiet week 13. Keep him in there.
Hell yeah.
He's an RB2 when you look at the ranks with RB1 upside with a floor of a flex. So that needs to be in your lineup. Find a way.
Yeah, for sure.
Finally,
I'm down
Chuba Hubbard, RB11 and RB6 over the last 2 weeks. Not to mention 39 carries for Chuba Hubbard. Those things don't feel like they should go together. But he is the lead back over Miles Sanders, who they gave, I think, $40 million. Flex start Hubbard if you have him. 70 yards and a touchdown feels fairly reasonable on any given week now with Hubbard.
Yeah, he'd be a really good guy to trade for right now. I think. Does that do it for our prayer, guys? Trav, does that
I'm good
do
with
it
that.
for you?
That's a lot of praying on one.
That's a lot of praying going on. Okay, fine. You know what? I don't have any religious music or any church music. So anyway, here's one.
Okay.
You know?
All right, start sits. Oh, go ahead. Do it. Do it for the
Cool. All
people.
right.
Let it
let's-
just play as we talk
let's
about
just-
Jordan
let's just-
Love.
Do some start sits.
Jordan Love makes you feel like the first few times you listen to Wonderwall after a long time. QB5 over the past 5 weeks. Giants are an average matchup, but to me, the Giants suck. In my head, it says start everybody you can against the Giants. And
God,
Jordan
bless you. You're a
Love
great
is
sport.
balling his dick off.
He has no dick now. It is just balls. Just
Jordan
balls.
Love or Justin Herbert?
Ooh, against the Broncos. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm going Love. It hurts, but look. Jordan Love,
That's where we're at right now.
I'm not gonna be hyperbolic. I'm not gonna go out and say he's Aaron Rodgers or anything like that, but he's giving off vibes of, hey, I'm doing enough for you to invest in me past this year. Give me another 2-year deal, whatever it is. I think he's coming back next year. I think this team's going to do what the fuck the Packers do and have boring, productive-ass drafts and build around. It's going to be really I'm really so annoyed that the Packers didn't just fall apart. This is what they were supposed to do.
He trained under Aaron Rodgers for 3 years.
I was telling my wife, I'm like, I wish the Bears were run as well as the Packers are. I'm like, it's so.
Maybe they're on their way. Maybe
I hope so.
It's just a long road.
I hope so. Yeah, it's a very long road, roughly all of the road.
All right, so Jordan Love is a start.
Yep.
Who are we sitting at quarterback?
We're going to sit Geno. Okay, we're going to sit Geno against San Francisco. It's not that Geno is awful against San Francisco. It's just San Francisco is great against all of the people. But Geno just isn't. He holds down the fort, and he's not the reason you win a game against San Francisco. I expect the San Francisco 49ers to win this game. I don't care where it's played, in Seattle, San Francisco, I don't know, elementary school, wherever it's played. It's going to be a beatdown.
Geno played great versus Dallas.
Yeah, he looked really good.
But doing it back-to-back weeks against the top defenses in the league, I'll bet that he doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think so either. That team, especially with now their running backs banged up. I don't know. I just don't see it going that same way. So yeah, I'm sitting Geno.
I agree. Keaton Mitchell or Keaton, if you want.
Keaton.
He's been getting progressively more work and is very efficient when he gets the ball. Speed kills. We say that all the time.
Yeah.
Snaps have increased. Yeah, you see it immediately. Snaps have increased every week the last 4 weeks. The Ravens are the second run heaviest team. Over under 45.5 rush yards. I feel like that's way too low. He does that on one play.
You know, they're facing the Rams. The Rams are pretty decent against the run. But like you said, he has been getting more work each week. He hasn't reached double digit carries yet. He's not like a guy that they consistently lean on. They still like to rely on Gus Edwards. They still rely on obviously Lamar Jackson. I think 45 is a decent bet though, just because of the burst ability of Keaton Mitchell. He
Yeah.
only needs one. I mean, that's really all he needs. But I'm probably taking the over. I feel confident in his abilities, and I think he reaches double-digit carries for the first time in his career this week. So yeah, I'm all in on starting him as a flex.
Great point by Ben. Rain and 20-mile-per-hour winds expected in Baltimore on Sunday.
Oh, I might have to
If
make
that
a bet
holds, there's gonna be a little throwing, a lot of running.
right now. Hell yeah.
All right, I am sitting Devin Singletary. It was fun while it lasted. Thank you, Dustin, for trading him to me in my attempt to climb back out of the hole in Fight Club 2. It almost worked.
I
It
tried.
wasn't Singletary's fault. But Damian Pierce is back, and the Jets are tough. I know they've been giving it up a little bit on the ground,
Sure.
more than expected, but in a split backfield against the Jets, I don't love it. Not for Singletary.
Yeah.
Unless Pierce gets hurt, there's just not enough work there to start him over somebody like Alexander Madison versus Vegas, who's been getting 65% of snaps, or got 65% of snaps last week, over 5 yards per carry. I think Madison keeps it going. I would much rather start him than somebody like Singletary.
Yeah. What about Najee? What about Najee Harris against New England? We've already talked about New England stopping the running backs. They do a pretty good job of it. And Najee is not an exciting player to watch a lot of the time. He's really good at getting 4 and 5 yards. Really good at that. He can do that most of the time. But yeah,
I would stay away.
I'm staying away from the running backs in this matchup, to be honest. It's not going to be pretty.
We expect like a 13-9 game. Watch it come out and be like 31-28 tomorrow.
That'd be insane. I don't think, honestly,
Historic game of the week.
I don't think either of these teams score 10 points combined.
Oh my gosh.
I just
surely the over-under is higher than 20.
I don't want to look.
I'm going to take a look.
All right, go take a look. But look, both of these teams are starting. One of them, look, let me paint this picture for you. Mitch Trubisky is starting.
It's a 30.
Mitch Trubisky is starting a game, and he's the best quarterback in this game. That
Yes, he
should
is.
tell you all you need to know. I'm not starting. I mean, if you have Najee in them, you probably don't have a ton of depth. Then, hopefully they fall into the end zone. You probably have Zeke sitting there. He's probably going to be a flex. Jalen Warren, I would. You know what? Yeah, I'd probably take him. Trubisky will probably dump it down to him quite a bit.
I agree. I think it's a Warren week over Najee.
I
What
agree.
about Brandon Cooks? He's been in a groove. CD gets
Ooh.
all the attention, as he should. But
Yeah.
is Cooks
Brandon
going to be
Cooks.
solid for a 60 to 80 yard and a touchdown week?
I like Cooks in this matchup.
Okay.
Philly has been giving it up to the wide receiver, and it's in Dallas. So you know what that means for the Cowboys offense. It means they go and be rolling. So I like Brandon Cooks this week. I think I don't know. I think that he's someone that you could watch to be a sneaky wide receiver one play this week.
Oh, wide receiver 1. That's bold. All right, Jacob says Najee may not play, hasn't practiced all week.
Ooh.
Does that change things for you? Does Jalen Warren become an auto start, given he'll have the backfield all to himself?
I mean, sure, yeah, you can still start him. I still don't expect the offenses to be good.
Is he inside your top 20 if Najee's
No.
out?
No.
Okay.
No.
I would probably still start him.
You can start him, yeah, he's a flex.
Would you start him over Keaton Mitchell?
Yeah, I would start him over Keaton Mitchell.
Okay, so
I
yeah,
think he'll get more work.
He's a solid flex then.
Yeah.
All right, 3 more here, all receivers. We'll start with Rashee Rice. 16 catches on 19 targets over the last 2 weeks. He has arrived. Shootout game, I think, coming with Buffalo. Vegas has a 49-point over-under, I believe. I know you say Bills have been tough against wide receivers, only allowing 134 receiving yards per game to the position.
Yep.
He is getting better. Yes, the Bills' defense is no joke. But I just think there's enough to go around in this game that if I have weapons in it, I want them in my lineup.
You know, it's that whole who's throwing in the ball. Patrick Mahomes is great. I like Rashee Rice. I mean, he's been getting more work. Snaps are, approaching 70%. So, I mean, I'm in. I mean, obviously, if you have him on your roster, I wouldn't suggest sitting him. But the Bills defense isn't a joke. They are one of the better wide receiver defenses in the league. And it's not like the Chiefs offense has looked great. So I'm cautiously optimistic with Rashee, but I'm not expecting him to be the savior of the week. I think that he'll get 7 targets and he might score.
All right, let's talk Dynasty Rashee Rice.
Okay.
Where do you have him compared to Hollywood Brown?
I have him valued higher than Hollywood Brown probably.
Okay. Keenan Allen?
Yeah, I mean,
let's say the season's over. So
okay,
that
the season,
contending, not contending, that's out of the context.
sure.
It is currently February 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Keenan Allen and somebody offers you Rice.
Right. I'm taking Rice.
You're taking Rice.
Yeah. Yeah, I would take Rice.
Devontae Adams?
No, I would still take Devontae Adams there.
Okay, so he's around wide receiver 20 for you.
Sure.
That he is skyrocketed in value in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
From outside of the top 40 into the top 20. Could you say that he's the next CeeDee Lamb?
No, you can't say that. No. There's no
right.
No, that's not even that's no. No, that's crazy.
Jacob says higher than Hollywood Brown. Jacob Fabian has left the chat.
Yeah.
Wow, so Jacob, you still have him outside of your top 30 because Hollywood is around 30 on most ranks. I would take Rashee Rice over George Pickens, Calvin Ridley, Hollywood Brown, Terry McLaurin. I just really believe in Rice, and I think the situation continues to get better and better for him.
I see it's not like I have him a ton higher. I think I might have him a couple spots higher than Hollywood Brown. But Hollywood Brown, we know what he is. He has had a wide receiver one season. Well, yeah, we've seen him in multiple different types of offenses and different roles. He is someone who, when able to be focused on, he can be, if he's the only option, the top option, then sure, he can achieve high-end wide receiver 2, low-end wide receiver 1, if healthy. But the thing is that he hasn't been healthy consistently. And now let's be honest, the Cardinals are going to be bringing in more weapons, and we don't know where Hollywood Brown's going to be because he doesn't have a contract right now.
Okay.
Rashee Rice is going to be with Patrick Mahomes for the next 3 years.
I think his top 12 season was more the outlier than anything I would ever expect.
Sure. It was a top tier result.
Back to week 14. I'm sitting Adam Thielen. Carolina sucks. Thielen has had one good game in the last 5 weeks.
I don't see him doing anything really the rest of the season, so continue.
So your tone on Adam Thielen changed in the last 4 days.
Yeah, just
because he was a big
pick
for you last week.
He was, and then I kind of looked into it a little bit more about what this coaching staff has said, what they're trying to do. They're moving away from Adam Thielen. They're trying to get their young guys proven, trying to get more experience for those guys. I don't see Adam Thielen reaching double-digit targets again, probably for his career.
All right, and do you agree with me on this one? Do you sit T. Higgins if you can? It appears to be the Jamar Chase show for Jake Browning. Was that a one-game thing? Does he spread it more, or do you start T. Higgins?
No, I think you could still start T. Higgins. They threw it all over the place.
Higgins or Rashee?
I would start T. Yeah, I would probably start
Okay.
T.
Higgins or
That's tough. That's probably really close, actually. That's really close. I'm
Deontay Johnson.
Higgins easily. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you're still starting him because if you're starting over
Yeah.
Deontay and Rashid, he's inside your top 30,
Yeah.
35.
Yeah. Easily.
All right, we're going to play a game called Odd Man Out. If you are
Yeah, let's
watching
do it.
and typing on the comments, we would love for you to participate in this segment of the show.
Drop
I will
it.
give you 3 players. All you have to do is decide which of the 3 you are cutting
I like it.
or not
I like
playing
it.
week 14. Either way you want to word it.
Okay.
I'll give you 2
Hit me.
quarterback questions, 2 running back questions, 2 receiver questions, and 1 tight end. Starting with the quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield at Atlanta.
Okay.
Geno at San Francisco. Matthew Stafford at Baltimore.
Geno, Matthew Stafford. Who's the first one?
Baker Mayfield versus Atlanta.
Baker, Geno, or Matt Stafford?
All 3 are on the road.
Who? I'm probably gonna go Baker Mayfield there.
He gets cut.
Well, oh no, cut. Oh, cut wise, I'm sorry. I'm thinking. Sorry,
You
odd
get to
man
start
out.
2. The odd man
Yeah.
out gets cut.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna cut Matthew Stafford.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that
Yeah, 'cause
because
it's
of
the
what
weather.
Ben's talking about?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's
That's a
the
good point.
weather. Because it's against Baltimore, who's been amazing lately. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that in the passing matchup.
I'm with Ben. If the weather is bearable, I would cut Geno. I don't like the matchup at San Francisco whatsoever.
Okay. All right.
All right. And Jacob says cut Baker. Okay, so we are undecided as a group.
Undecided.
Take your
I
pick
love it.
here and start 2. So, last one
All
for
right.
quarterbacks. Russell Wilson at Chargers. Goff
Okay.
at Chicago. Herbie at home versus Denver.
I'm gonna go Herbie at home against Denver.
You like Russ on the road in LA more than Herbert.
I do. I think. Look, that offense has not looked good for the Chargers.
Okay.
And I think Pat Surtain against Keenan Allen. Pat Surtain can shadow, and Pat Surtain is really good. And Herbie throwing to anyone other than Keenan does not make me feel good. This defense has also been stopping the running backs pretty well, and Eckler hasn't been looking great. So tell me where the points come from.
My cut is Russell Wilson. I don't like Russ on the road against the Chargers.
Sure.
He didn't have a great week against Houston on the road last week. And I think Herbert's line right now, Vegas line is 265 or 256.
Sure.
So there's still nice volume there between Keenan and Eckler. Maybe Josh Palmer. I don't think he comes back that quick. But I don't know. I just find it hard to sit Herbert at home versus Russ, but I can see it. But both of us say start Goff for sure.
Yeah,
at Chicago.
I would say start Goff. I have wide receivers for you, Travis.
Okay.
All right, so Nico Collins versus the Jets. Jalen Waddle versus Tennessee. Or Brandon Cooks against Philly, like we just talked about.
I'm sitting Cooks there.
You're sitting Cooks.
I like all
Interesting.
3, but I like him the least.
Okay.
I really like Nico. I know the Jets' pass defense is strong. The volume should be
Sure.
insane for Nico Collins, and I think
Sure.
Jalen Waddle is just not somebody I leave on my bench.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I also, you were supposed to do receivers and tight ends.
Yep.
For whatever reason, my brain said, just keep doing them.
So
So
you
I
went-
have
you went and
receivers for
grabbed
you
some.
too.
Perfect. Hit me with them.
And none of them are the ones you said. DeAndre Hopkins at Miami.
Gross.
Garrett Wilson versus Houston.
Jesus. All right.
Drake London versus Tampa Bay.
All right. So Garrett Wilson doesn't feel good at all. Gross.
Both Ben and Jacob are sitting Nico. Did you say sit Nico?
I didn't say either way. Personally, yeah, I would probably sit Nico there.
Okay. So you guys are Brandon Cooks over Nico this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Reminder of my 3: Hopkins at Miami,
Yep.
Garrett Wilson versus Houston, Drake London versus Tampa.
I'm gonna cut DeAndre Hopkins there. I don't like that passing game. I mean, he's great, but going up against Ramsey and Howard, it doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't take much to shut down that offense. So that's, yeah.
I actually really like that reasoning, but I'm going to have to agree with the boys here. For me, I'm sitting Drake London. I don't trust the Falcons versus Tampa. Tampa's defense is just so solid.
Here's why I'm going London. I think London has a really good week this week because the passing defense for Tampa has been awful. And here's what both of these teams are fighting for: first place in the division, and a chance to host a playoff game. And for whatever reason, both of these teams are delusional enough to think that they're competitive. So I think
somebody has to win it.
Someone has to win it, and I don't think either of them are going to be able to run it very well for different reasons. Okay. So I think passing the ball is going to be the option here.
Do you have another wide receiver odd man out?
I don't.
Okay, I do. Jaden Reed at New York Giants. Jacoby Myers at home versus Minnesota. Or Cortland Sutton on the road in L.A.
That's going to be an easy Jacoby Myers for me.
Jacoby gets the seat after a 20-point outing last game.
Sit next to Coach. You did good, son, but we got other guys. I just really like Jaden Reed. I don't want to take anything away from this freaking Green Bay offense. And Cortland Sutton has been Russ's favorite. So I'm okay not starting the receiver receiving passes from Aiden O'Connell, something.
O'Connell, yeah.
I'm okay.
Irish Connell.
Yeah, something. Definitely.
I'm with
drink
you.
After
I'm
watching
sitting.
that game.
I think I'm going to sit Jacoby here. I don't love it because he was really good in their last outing, but when you have Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs, it is very easy to leave you out any given week.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think Reed will be heavily involved. Sutton is always involved when he's healthy. So, yeah, I'm Myers on the bench there. Ben agrees. Give me your tight end, and then I'll give you my tight end. Whoa.
Yeah.
Pause.
Let's start off with pause.
Carry on.
All right. Let's go Jake Ferguson against Philly, Cole Kmet against Detroit, or Taysom Hill against Carolina.
Man,
that's a
guess Kmet has to get the seat there. Ferguson's been too hot. He's been very involved in this offense since they fully committed to Dak and the air show. I guess it's going to be Kmet. What about if we threw Evan Ingram in there? Because mine has Taysom and Ferguson in it. Let's just throw Ingram in.
Taysom.
Are you drunk, Jacob? Sit Taysom? Give him the soundbite.
Oh, God. Yeah,
Why would you sit this man? He's been balling his dick off. Volume up. Crank that shit, DJ.
Man. I'm sorry. I missed it. We got to play that again.
What?
Taysom Hill. Good. Yeah. But yeah.
He doesn't need to practice,
ridiculous.
Jacob.
No.
He's 37. He's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, if he doesn't play, we get to cut him. But if he's playing,
of course.
I'm playing him.
Of course. Yeah. Hand, foot injuries, sure. But it's Wednesday. Could be a Veterans Day. Who knows? But, for me, it would probably be... It'd probably be Taysom as well.
What the heck?
It'd probably be Taysom as well.
What are y'all smoking? Taysom Hill has been balling.
Yeah, he has.
He does everything for them, especially if it's Jameis. He's going to get more PT.
Maybe.
No way. I'm not playing Cole Kmet over him.
I like Cole Kmet against Detroit, and I also like Ferguson against Philly. So, it's not so much a knock on Taysom. It's just those other ones are decent matchups.
This is very true. What Ben says is very true. He does. Taysom Hill has the tightest end of all tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
He has to with what he does.
He does,
and the NFL's never seen anything like it. What player does what he does, or has ever done that? Tim
Thomas?
Tebow tried.
I mean, Logan Thomas was a quarterback, and then he's
Tebow
now a
threw
tight
worse,
end.
caught worse, ran
Sure.
worse.
Yeah, Taysom Hill's special.
I'm not benching him.
Okay, all right. I mean, I'm starting him in places where those other guys aren't on my roster. So, yeah,
All right.
Taysom's in some lineups.
Moving on to the next segment, we're going to call
do
this
it.
real or fake. Same thing we've called it every time we do this segment. Really creative, Travis. Is
Hell
it
yeah.
real or is it fake? Matthew Stafford has been a top 10 quarterback over the last 3 weeks.
Ooh.
With Puka and Kupp healthy, and Higbee and Kyron both getting it done respectively. Is there any reason he is not around QB12? Is he back in QB1 when he's healthy the rest of this year?
No, I don't think he is.
Why not?
I don't think. I mean, we talked about his next matchup, right, against Baltimore.
Right?
It doesn't.
Let's
feel
just say
good.
the weather was perfect. 70 and sunny in Baltimore. Is
Yep.
he a back end QB1? Our
Still
brains
no.
won't let us
Still no.
accept it.
I can't.
But
I
the
can't.
numbers are there.
I can't do it because I mean, yeah, he's done in different places, but watch. I mean, where is he at now? You know, like where is he? He's like on the season. Where is he? You know, because I can't go with Stafford when he does, like he doesn't have the rushing upside. Like there are just it's less about him and more about the other guys that are available, I guess. Like granted, half the league doesn't have a quarterback right now. But you still got your Kyler Murrays, your Justin Fields. I mean, you've got your guys that have rushing upside that aren't necessarily, you know, like always killing it. But like CJ Stroud has been, you know, amazing this year. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, I just top 12 is not a lock for Matt Stafford when that offense has struggled at times, and Kyron Williams has been more of a factor. So
you're saying it's fake. He's more of a 15 to 18 guy.
agreed. Yep.
Fair enough. Tony Pollard, running back 5 over the last 3 weeks. The buy window was there. I hope more than Travis took advantage of it. What has been the difference in Tony Pollard? Well, Dustin, it has been a touchdown in 3 straight weeks. Jacob said that pendulum will come back, and boy, has it. A consistent touchdown per game will bring you into the top 5 when you get his volume.
Yeah.
Is Tony Pollard a top 5 to 10 rest of way?
I think in that offense, sure.
Okay.
This week, maybe not so much because Philly is great against the run. But yeah, I would say the rest of the season, especially in the fantasy playoffs, I think that he's got a pretty good shot. Just based on that offense, not even based on the matchups. And that offense, I think you can make a pretty good mark just being on that team.
Good floor and good ceiling for Tony Pollard.
Yeah, I would say that.
All right,
sure.
Breece Hall, outside the top 20 over the last 3. He has been a top 12 running back 1 time since their week 7 bye. Do you have to start Breece Hall? If you're looking at your roster and you need a win this week and you have James Conner, Pacheco, and Zach Moss, does Breece Hall find your bench?
Oh man, that one is ugly.
Doesn't he have to?
I think you have to start him.
Why?
Starting him against Houston, running against Houston's not bad.
The Jets suck.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
They're not
pretty
running on
awful.
anyone.
Yeah, goodness, yeah. I mean, if you the guys you mentioned, like if you have Pacheco, I'd probably start Pacheco.
Zach Moss,
Yeah, I would start Zach Moss over
James
Breece.
Conner. These are
this
fairly
hurts.
average names.
This hurts.
I'm not giving you superstars.
No, it sucks.
You don't have to start him if
Thank
you have good
Jacob,
options.
for the comment. I feel the same way right now. I guess. I mean,
That's gross.
if you don't have a better option, sure, but like Brees Hall or Khalil Herbert against the
Okay.
Lions.
Come on. What are we doing here?
I mean, that's a legitimate question. That's one I have to deal with.
Brees Hall or Devin Singletary? I mean, we're naming
No,
guys
yeah,
that should
that's
never be
for
in the
sure.
same conversation.
I mean, Herbert's a starter. Herbert gets double-digit carries. I mean, that's a legitimate question. I mean, but yeah, I would still say
Brees or Mostert.
Mostert easily. Yeah, that's
This is a guy you drafted in the first or second round.
well, sure, but we're 13 weeks in.
It's
like you
brutal.
throw the draft capital out.
I know, but it's just you've forced yourself to start him every week all year.
It's been
So
a
now with one
goddamn
game
nightmare.
left. It is. It
Yeah.
has been. All right, you don't have to start Brees. If you have
No,
a
he's not
question
must start.
and you're watching the show, should I start him or somebody else? You can ask us.
Yeah, definitely let us know.
Back to Rashee Rice, wide receiver 17 over the last 3. We already talked about in Dynasty. Where is he?
Yep.
Do you think next season he's a top 30 guy?
Yeah. To bring back up what our guy Ben had said. He says that they're going to be bringing in. Here we go. That the Chiefs definitely add competition this offseason.
We say that every year. He is the competition.
He-
Anybody they bring in is going to be the third option, I think.
But here's my take on it. Here's my take. They may bring in some washed up old veteran. Like, all right, let's just throw this out here. They throw DeAndre Hopkins out there, another year older, doing what he does. I don't think that they will because he doesn't really fit what they're doing.
I would hate that for Rice.
I don't think that there's many other people that they can bring in that, one, they can afford, but two, can do the things that Rice will be able to do in that offense in year 2. Andy Reid's system is perfect for a year 2 wide receiver to come out and break out.
He's getting better very quickly.
They expect you to know every position on the field. It has to be a veteran. Bringing someone in, like, I don't know who they would bring in that you're not going to get a top 10 or a top tier player. It had to be someone on. Now, if they get like a really good guy who's decided to take like a really high end, pay cut, then sure. Yeah, they have. Yeah. So Ben, you're saying that they have
It's
a
not
great
going to be a rookie.
wide receiver class. If they bring in a rookie to contend with Rice, perfect, awesome. He's a second round pick.
Yeah, you're not passing.
Unless he supplanted another second round pick that they had. Like the rookie talk. That's what I'm trying to tell you, that he's got a year up on a rookie wide receivers struggle in this system. They're probably going to try and solve it. But also just because, like, I think we always assume that because a wide receiver group or a position group for a team is bad, it has to ultimately get better the next year. Where are the Giants at? They have great wide receivers now. No, like it's sometimes they just need guys to develop and they need to work through it.
Their
Kelce
room
gonna be
isn't bad. It's just unique. When you have Travis Kelce, you only need so much.
I mean, they have Rice and really no one else, so I would say it's bad, but I don't think there's any competition.
But like Tony and Sky Moore, they could
Sure.
go somewhere and play. But there's
I
not
mean-
enough ball to go around.
Sure.
Rashee Rice is getting volume now. I know it's a small sample the last 2
going
or
on,
3
Eric?
weeks, but he's been getting volume.
Yeah, I agree.
19 targets in the last 2 weeks.
Sure.
I think they trust him. I think he gets much better very quickly. And I think I think in the offseason in Dynasty,
Yeah.
Rice
Right.
climbs inside the top 20 to 24 guys.
And Ben, I'm not saying it's not a problem, but it is a
Quarterback's
problem.
the problem.
Jesus Christ.
In fantasy, Chris Godwin, wide receiver 39 over the last 3, which fits his season, wide receiver 39 on the year. Does he have a playoff push in him, or is this only the Mike Evans show in Tampa? Todd Bowles saying, we need to get Chris Godwin the ball. Are you buying it?
I mean, I like Chris Godwin. I think he's still talented. Looking at him play, though, he's not been super explosive. And he doesn't play the style that Baker Mayfield likes. Like, Chris Godwin needs you to be precise and super on time. And with the improvisation, kind of breaking the pocket, making plays, that definitely suits a Mike Evans more than it does a Chris Godwin. And that's what we've seen all season long. Outside of structure, outside of timing, Chris Godwin does not get those extra opportunities. And like I said, we've seen it. So I think you're just expecting low-end wide receiver 3 numbers going forward. I don't think he's going to jump in and all of a sudden be this savior for this team.
I agree. I think he has a fairly decent top 24 week this week. I do buy that Todd Bowles says we need to get in the ball. I think they will try to find ways to get him touches.
Yeah,
He ran for a touchdown last week, so I think they are mindful of we need to get Chris Godwin the ball in his hands. That leaves us with big picks. I will give you a quick review, Dustin, of last week's big picks.
Oh, goodness.
Because I believe I said something along the lines of you're on crack cocaine after you gave me your big picks last week, or heroin or meth or something like that.
Yeah,
something
honestly,
really
maybe all of it.
Something really strong out there in Austin, Texas, because the names with the matchups in my head screamed bust. But we'll see.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Your quarterback, Gardner Minshew, 13 was the projection. He gets 16. He almost gives you a big pick win. Not enough, but a QB 12 outing, you'll take it all day long.
QB1.
Bijan Robinson, RB 20 on the week. Womp womp. This is where I have, in quotations, let Dustin rant. So if you will, talk to me about how upset you were about the head coach in Atlanta and what he's doing to Bijan Robinson.
Arthur Smith I don't think Arthur Smith understands why he does what he does. End of the game, they're just trying to run up the clock or trying to get a first down. They put in Tyler Algier over Bijan. And yeah, he's grinding out a couple yards, but like, are my feelings swayed by the amount of money I had vested in a bet? Sure. Did I only need 3 yards? Sure. But look, the entire time it was, oh, look, there goes a carry and it's Cordero Patterson.
Over and over.
Yeah, over and over. Or it's a handoff to Algier and he goes nowhere. And then Bijan gets the ball. He's making plays all over the place, turns nothing into 5 yards, and then now we need to sit him, need to get him some rest. It's like, what are you doing? Like, what? Why is it so hard to give your good players the ball? And watching that game hurt my eyes. So I hate Arthur Smith. He's a goddamn Bond villain, and I hope he gets hemorrhoids for Christmas. Okay, that's where I'm.
All right. Well done. Ben said he heard Arthur Smith pays thugs to take presents from children at Christmas time.
For sure.
What a Grinch Arthur Smith has been for Bijan owners. So that was an L. RB20 is not a big pick of the week. No. Maybe it gets better at receiver. Adam Thielen, nope. Wide receiver, 50. Dustin, you're single-handedly losing people weeks right now. David Njoku brings up the rear and ties up his second worst week of the season at tight end 26.
That was a rough one. That was.
Big picks have been a curse. They have been known to backfire.
Sometimes they're
We
good.
even thought about scrapping the segment because we have been so bad at them. However, I went with Trevor Lawrence. He was QB5 and then got hurt with a fourth quarter to play and eventually overtime. Could have been a QB1, probably QB3-ish week, but I'll take QB5 for T-Law. Alvin Kamara, running back 2 on the week, monster performance. I guaranteed 25 touches. He did not get there. I think it was 20. But RB2, you'll take it. Mine were a little bit easier calls, but I think I called them all in the top 5 at their position. Ayuk did not do that. Wide receiver 20.
Oh my
It was the Debo show.
Yeah, it really was.
And then Dalton Schultz did not play, so that doesn't really count. Good job, Travis, picking a hurt guy. Dustin, we get to our big picks.
Hold on. Before we get to the big picks, I'm glad y'all have stayed along this long because I have a particular bone to pick.
Oh, I do have to give you flowers. I have to give you flowers.
Yeah,
I actually had that.
I'm about to snag him out of your hand.
I have it. I have it on the sheet. I mean, not the sheet. I have it on my notes on the side. Give Dustin his flowers at the end. I can give them to you right now because I did just shit on you a little bit.
Absolutely.
Dustin said last week The San
Yeah.
Francisco 49ers would beat the shit out of Philadelphia. I again probably said he's on something very strong. Turns
Yeah.
out he was right. He was on the money. San Francisco not
Yeah.
only owned Philadelphia, they
Unbelievable.
absolutely destroyed them. And all game, all I could
Yeah.
say was, "You are right. You are right."
Yeah.
Even when it
I-
was still a touchdown game, you said, "Oh, that's funny." And now it's 14. I look up and 30 seconds later, it's 21. It just got worse and worse.
Yeah.
Dustin, what a great call.
It was a great call. I was called crazy. I was told I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
By our whole team.
I think
Our whole squad.
everyone.
Actually, Jacob did say
Jacob
there's
did
a
say.
chance this could work,
but
but
it's
he
not
wasn't going to
likely.
bet on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben has
Yeah.
left the chat. Ben, you don't get to leave the chat.
Nope. I got
When
the
Aaron
receipts,
Rodgers
buddy.
gets hurt and Garrett Wilson still forces me to run 100 yards after chugging a heavy beer because Amon-Ra St. Brown beats him,
Yep.
I don't get to leave the chat. That's part of it.
Yeah.
Eric, I don't think that you said Philadelphia would lose by 20 plus.
No, but
Dustin,
Eric
that's
has
one of
not
the
left the
biggest
chat.
one of the most accurate calls of the season because that was bold
take it.
in Philadelphia.
yeah. Yep. There you go.
All right, big
Jacob.
picks. I will go with Jordan Love. We've talked about him a lot. Top 12
Hell
and
yeah.
5 of his last 7. Top 10 in
Love
3 straight. Sleeper's line has him at 226 yards. I think he's gone for 265 plus in 4 straight, so I'm not sure why it's so low. But my projection is around 300 total yards, rushing and receiving combined, and 3 total touchdowns. Jordan Love gives you 4 straight top 10 weeks.
I love it. My quarterback big pick of the week is Josh Dobbs, question mark. Look, if Josh Dobbs actually keeps this job this week and he plays against the Raiders, I'm telling you he's going to smash with JJ coming back. Has a full complement of weapons. He's not going to throw 4 picks in this game, and he has a top 12 matchup against the Raiders who just what the hell are they playing for?
I like this pick.
I really like Josh Dobbs. This is going to be a smash matchup. Light it up. I think he's going to be a top 10 play. If he ends up playing this week.
I think he plays, and I think
Yeah.
he's the best option in that QB room.
Agreed.
Running back James Cook for me, 42 touches over the last 2 weeks since Brady took over as offensive coordinator, not Tom Brady. More importantly,
you.
he's had 9 for 88 through the air over the last 2 games. That's very, very nice as far as floor and ceiling go. And an expected 48.5 over-under, I think James Cook gets around 100 yards again and 1 touchdown. I don't know if you watched the last Bills game versus Philly.
Yes. That was a wild one.
James Cook dropped a walk-in 30-yard touchdown catch.
Not many 30-yard catches or walk-ins, but I like it.
There was nobody ahead of him. It was a wheel route. It went right over his shoulder. He reached his hands out at the 5-yard line, and it went right through. I think James Cook is going to be very involved going forward. We've already seen it the
Yeah.
last 2, like I just said. I think if you have him, he could be a league-winning type player with the volume he's been getting.
That's solid. I really hope so. I could use it.
Yeah.
Oh, my big pick of the week. Look, I'm a fan of this pick myself. It's Zach Moss. It's the first time I've picked him this year. Against the Bengals. JT's out again. They're gonna have to lean on the running game. And look, I think he's a solid top 10 play, if not top 5. We've seen Zach Moss when he gets a full complement of carries be a top 5 guy. I think there's a solid chance that he scores here. It wouldn't shock me to see him with 85 yards and a touchdown in this one.
Yeah. Anything less than that, I'd be shocked.
Yeah, I mean that should be your baseline expectation here. So, throw him in there. Feel confident with him. And honestly, if you've had him this long, he might be your running back 2 or 3. So you've got a solid stable right there, most likely. So go get him. Go win your week.
I like it. I'll give you my last 2 here and then let you wrap it up with the last 2.
Hell yeah.
Both of these are not backed by numbers, which I know some of you will hate.
Okay.
But Gabe Davis is my wide receiver big pick of the week. We know the historic game he's had against Kansas City a couple years ago. Gabe Davis has been what feels like 0 points or 19 points all year. His last game, well, they had a bye week, but his last game,
Yep.
I believe, was the 19.
Sure.
So I am nervous that this could be the 0, but my gut says against the Chiefs, I think it's an offensive heavy game. Diggs always gets a ton of attention. Bills offense is absolutely dialed in right now. I want all the pieces I can get. I think Gabe Davis gives you 85 in a score, maybe 100 in a score. Evan Ingram tight end. Christian Kirk went out. It became the Evan Ingram show the rest of the game. 9 for 82 and 1. Those are very good receiver numbers. I expect CJ Beathard to find Evan Ingram often this weekend around the line of scrimmage like we just saw in the fourth quarter and overtime. He looked very comfortable finding Ingram. The numbers say no way. Cleveland is the number 1 team in the league versus tight ends. The good thing is, Dustin, I'm crazy, and I don't care. Double E gets it done. 6 for 65 and 1. The touchdown will probably make or break the call, but I think the volume will be very nice for Ingram.
Yeah, tight ends normally live and die by the touchdown.
Yeah.
I like those picks. Ingram and Davis. My wide receiver big pick of the week is my boy DJ Moore. He had a damn good week against Detroit a couple weeks ago. He's had a bye week since then. They're rested up. They have a good game plan. They're at home. Look, anytime you're pairing those two up, Justin Fields and DJ Moore, I feel confident. I think he's going to have another 100 yards and a touchdown game. So DJ Moore is a solid wide receiver this week. Feel confident with him. And then Isaiah Likely is my tight end big pick of the week. He's facing the Rams defense, who have given up the third most tight end fantasy points in the league. He's played 70% of snaps or more in the last 2 games since Mark Andrews has been out. I expect his usage to go up. He had 6 targets last week. He's got the athletic build, and I think, like I said, or like we said before, this game's going to have some high wins. So I don't expect a lot of those deep shots to be going to Odell or Zay Flowers. I think we're going to keep it intermediate, keep it shorter. Isaiah Likely peppered with targets, red zone targets. I think he scores in this matchup, and I think he is going to be a top 7 tight end this week.
All right. Likely, I feel like, is not getting the respect, but as soon as he has that 15-point week, people are going to be all about it. All right, a couple guys, a little bit of dynasty talk here in the last 5 to 10 minutes. We'll run a little bit over because we have some things we want to talk about in dynasty. Buying guys who are not or cannot contribute to a win-now team.
For sure.
This list of guys are guys that you can get for cheaper than you should. Mark Andrews, Garrett Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, Greg Dulcich, and Tank Dell. Those are our favorite buys right now. Dustin, do you have anything to add to that list?
I don't love Dulcich.
Okay.
I think that one, he's been injured all year. So I don't necessarily know what he's gonna look like moving forward, and especially in that offense. Sean Payton comes in, doesn't get to use Dulcich, and he had brought his own guys in. The rest of the list makes sense. Andrews been a stud. Wilson obviously a stud. Lawrence, Burrow, Tank Dell. Tank Dell is interesting. If you have someone who's panicking and saying, this is going to be tough for long-term, look, the man broke his fibula. Yeah, it's awesome. There's no impact for long-term production. He's going to come back and be the same guy. So I wouldn't really worry too much about a broken leg. So he'll be back. The other kind of guys that I like to buy, though, Travis, are guys who the situation really only has to improve, right? One guy I didn't put on the list is Jacoby Myers. I really like Jacoby Myers.
I feel like Devontae Adams will force his way out.
I think so too. I think Jacoby Myers is someone I would be targeting in Dynasty to pick up as, he could be a pseudo, wide receiver 1 on a team, on a rebuilding team, playing for a talented rookie quarterback. So that, we already mentioned Garrett Wilson. That's going to be an improved situation next year. One guy I don't think qualifies, though, is Chris Olave.
Qualifies as somebody you're buying right now?
I don't think I would buy him. I don't.
Okay.
I
You
don't
think his value
see-
can only go down from where it's at?
I think he'll be. I think he'll be a better player, but I think people look at the situation like, oh, they've got to get a better quarterback. But what you really have to look at is they have no options. They have zero. They just paid $140 million to Derek Carr. They only
Yeah.
have Jameis Winston as a backup, and they don't. I don't think they have a first round pick. If they do, they're not. I don't think they're going to be able to get up and get a meaningful quarterback. Also, we haven't even touched on the fact that they are negative $80 million. They are below or over the salary cap, $80 million. They are losing so many players over the next couple of years. I don't see him getting much help. And if he does, have someone other than Derek Carr, I think it's a rookie. And who the hell knows what's going to happen when a rookie's playing. So Chris Olave is not someone I'm looking to buy right now.
Okay. Lesser guys who will gain value. You have Jalen Hyatt, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Hunter Renfrow. You think their situations will improve, and they're dirt cheap right now.
Yeah, I mean, you're not having to pay out the nose for any of those guys. I mean, really not going to have to pay anything for Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow is someone I strongly believe in. The man gets
You should
open.
place a bid on him in the Super Mario League because somebody just dropped him.
Yeah, I already did.
Good. I only have $1, so I know I'm not going to win him. So if you bid $2, you'll at least beat me.
You'll probably beat me since I have $0.
Oh, I'm going to put $1 on him.
You
Dustin,
should.
I'm on it. I see these things. All right, our final question of the night.
Okay.
You've earned the 101 rookie pick in your Dynasty Superflex League.
Yes.
Which players would you trade for and give up the 101 in a Superflex League? I'll tell you that I would give up. I would accept, if I'm giving up the 101, I would accept it for. I would accept these players: Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, Burrow, Stroud, Lamar, Herbert, Jefferson, Chase, Lawrence, CeeDee Lamb.
Wow, you would take Lawrence over the 101, huh?
Absolutely.
Interesting. I mean,
maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Wow,
Probably not. I think I would rather have Marvin Harrison Jr. than Amon-Ra.
Yeah, I would say if you're talking quarterbacks, I mean, yeah, I think it would probably just go Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Hurts. I mean,
Stroud.
What
are we doing? What are we doing? You already have Joe Burrow,
Stroud. Yeah,
Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I'd take Herbert for sure.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I would take Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's right at that line, I think. Lamar Jackson's amazing.
Dak Prescott?
No, I'd rather have the pick.
So he goes QB3, and you're like, okay, I've seen enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically 8 guys.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, I would take Justin Jefferson with that pick.
Jamar Chase.
Sure. Yep.
CeeDee Lamb.
No.
You're hoping that Marvin Harrison Jr. can become CeeDee Lamb in the NFL. Situation, quarterback, rookie learning curve, all of that included.
Sure.
CeeDee Lamb is already that dude.
Yeah, but I really do. I really think CeeDee Lamb is amazing.
This is why people fucking lose.
No, Marvin Harrison Jr. for me has been that guy. Like I have zero.
He hasn't
doubts.
played a game yet, and CeeDee Lamb is balling. He's 24.
Sure. Yes, he is.
With Dak.
He is amazing. Yes. Yeah. I'm telling you. Look, I hear what you're saying. Normally, I would be on your side. Normally, I would be trying to push that. I think that the ceiling.
If Marvin Harrison goes to Carolina, you want him over CeeDee Lamb?
Marvin Harrison's not going to Carolina. Travis, I mean, Jacob.
I've seen the highlight tapes. Have you not seen CeeDee Lamb's? Have you not seen his numbers?
okay, here's what I'm going to try and paint you a picture of, okay? Because this Marvin Harrison Jr. is not in the same tier as CeeDee Lamb. That's
Correct.
CeeDee Lamb is not it. He is not at Marvin Harrison's level. He's not going to be there. Like this is the best
For fantasy
season
production.
for fantasy production. Yes.
How many seasons will Marvin Harrison Jr. play before he outscores CeeDee Lamb?
1.
He will do it in his rookie year.
No, I'm saying he'll play a season and then, I mean, he'll need.
So-
he'll have time to acclimate. Sure.
2026 or 2025 season, Marvin Harrison Jr., regardless of what team he's on, will outscore CeeDee Lamb.
He will be a top 5 wide receiver.
Shit. No, whoa, that's not what I said.
Okay, fine. Yeah, wherever you want him, he's going to outscore CeeDee Lamb. Like that's.
Oh, man.
I'm
CeeDee's
just-
only getting better and better, too.
I'm just saying, like, there's not. You can put him on literally any team.
So you said eight quarterbacks, Jefferson,
Yep.
Chase.
And Jefferson, Chase. That's end of list.
So he's so 10 guys before the 101.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's about what Bijan was doing.
Yeah.
End of the
God,
first startup.
I think
101 was going before CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing?
I mean, look, I understand CeeDee Lamb is amazing, but I think, like, if I'm rebuilding and I have the 101, like, granted, if I'm competing and you have that short window, then sure, trade it for more value right now. But even then, Marvin Harrison Jr. is all build pieces. Like he fits all builds. So I'm taking
All
him.
right.
I think
Poor CeeDee Lamb. There's nothing
he's
more he can
Calvin
do.
Johnson level. Like he's Calvin Johnson type prospect. Like that.
Okay.
CeeDee Lamb is amazing, but he's not that. Immediately
All right.
walking in.
So that's
the guy.
we're basically on the same page minus one guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, 112, and for you, 111. That's pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does Jacob say? It's box versus boat, but in this case, the box could be a cruise ship. You
It's like when
already
you-
have the cruise ship.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You
You
have,
have
a nice
top
boat.
3 receiver.
You have a top 5 receiver. You have a top 5 receiver. Yes.
Why is he not top 3?
Okay, yeah, he's a top 3 this season, but I'm saying he's not going to be top 3 every season. I'm
Is
saying
he next year?
Well,
Barring
let me
health?
ask you a question. Is JJ healthy all year? Is Chase not have a quarterback to throw
Going
to him?
into the season, what are you going to rank CeeDee Lamb?
5.
Who's ahead of him?
I think Tyreek
JJ,
Hill,
Chase, Tyreek,
JJ
and Marvin
Chase,
Harrison.
Tyreek, Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it's like that with him.
You would rather have Tyreek Hill, who says he's almost done, over
Well,
CeeDee Lamb, who's 24?
You said for next season. Yeah.
Right, in Dynasty. Your Dynasty ranks.
Oh, and now, okay, dynasty wise, then sure, yeah, it's still gonna be, it'll be JJ Chase, Marvin Harrison Jr., CD Lamb.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man. This one deserves a lot more conversation.
I'm gonna be talking about him a lot.
Immediately after the season, this will be our first topic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it is
do it.
late for both of us here in Texas.
Yeah.
It is 10:09 Central.
10:09.
This show will be out on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube tomorrow morning. Thank you for paying attention this late at night. Jacob, Ben, and Eric are diehard faithful trolls.
I appreciate y'all. Good luck out there heading into the fantasy playoffs. We got one more week, y'all. Get those dubs. As always, Dustin Blanton, Travis Masterson. Losing sucks. Don't do it.